KJ311 full hydraulic drilling rig use and maintenance. The first whole video check before starting. The first paragraph, engine. Check that whether the engine oil level is normal. Check that whether the engine antifreeze liquid level is within the line. Check that whether the fan and generator belts are properly stretched and aged. Check that whether the engine pipes is leaking. Engine air filter cleaning. Check that whether diesel fuel is sufficient. Check oil water filter for diesel. The second paragraph, hydraulic system. Check that whether the oil level is normal inside the hydraulic oil tank. Check that whether the hydraulic oil tank has oil leakage, air leakage, and blockage of the vent. Check that whether the hydraulic pump and all kinds of control valves has oil leakage.
4. 检查各连接管路是否老化、漏油现象。
Check that whether the return oil pressure filter alarms. The red position pops up as an alarm and the filter element needs to be replaced. Check whether the high-pressure oil filter element is blocked. The original color is green. If the color changed to red, need replace the filter element. The third paragraph, air compressor. Check that whether the screw oil for the air compressor. When the temperature is stable after the operation of the air compressor, check again whether there is screw oil in the mirror. If there is less, need to add appropriate screw oil. Check the pulse lubricating oil level. Check that whether the safety valve opens and closes normally. The fourth paragraph, electrical system. Check that whether the battery box is clean, there is debris. Check that whether the engine wiring harness and main engine wiring harness are aging and damaged. Check that whether the function of the emergency stop switch is normal. The fifth paragraph, drill boom feeder. Check the rubber retaining ring of the telescopic boom. Check that whether the feeder beam and rail are in good condition. Check the condition of the propulsion cylinder. Check whether the wire rope is in good condition. Sixth paragraph, other checks. Check that whether each control handle is in the middle position and the parking service valve is in the parking position. Check that whether each pin or fastener is tightened in place. Check that the tire pressure and appearance to ensure no damage. Check the condition of fire extinguisher. Make sure all external connections that require attention or could cause security hazards have been disconnected. Make sure cables, electric control cabinets, and hoses are coiled and secured in a suitable place. Make sure that all accessories, spare parts, and tools are securely secured. Make sure no one is in the dangerous area of the vehicle and there are no obstacles around. The second whole video, the vehicle running. The first paragraph, relevant inspection after starting the vehicle. Starting device. Turn on the power switch, turn on the engine power key. Check that whether the function of lamps, meters, indicators, and horns. Start the engine. Ceiling set to proper height. The telescopic boom and guide rail are fully withdrawn and centered, and the height is moderate to ensure that the oil tubing does not drag on the ground. Check the working condition of the brake. Service brake test. Rely on the leg to lift the drill rigs. The tire does not contact the ground. Change the driving gear. Step on the accelerator to make the wheel running. Press the brake pedal, at which point the wheel must quickly stop running. Warning: if the braking method fails, do not use the drill rigs. Check immediately to debugging. The second paragraph, drill rigs walking. Wear the safety belt properly and make sure the leg beams and legs are fully retracted before walking. Switch the driving/parking control switch from parking to driving. Remove the central hinged lock rod. Select the required driving direction through the travel control switch, forward/backward, and the driving speed depends on the diesel engine rotate speed. Drive slowly and test the brakes again to make sure they are working properly. Driving. Forward. Backward. Turn. Warning: It is strictly forbidden to swing the big boom when turning. If you encounter a bend that cannot be passed, you can adjust the angle of the feeder appropriately. The third paragraph, parking. Parking the rig, select a safe area and a position that will not affect the passage of other equipment. Press the parking brake pedal and bring the rig to a complete stop. Switch the rig parking control valve from the driving position to the parking space. Support the front and rear legs and four wheels on the ground with uniform force. The wheels do not need to be completely separated from the ground. Reduce the engine speed. Make the diesel engine idle for a few minutes. Press the stop button. Make the engine turn off. Turn off the starting key. Turn the battery main switch to the off position. Warning: do not leave the rig when the engine is running. It is strictly prohibited to stop the rig by using the parking or emergency stop function. The fourth paragraph, all action features demonstrated. Diesel power loading and unloading. Ceiling lifting and drop.
顶棚升，顶棚降，
Cable retract and release. Five-way valve function using stabilizing the rig valve. Left leg, front extend, left leg, front take back. Right leg, front extend, right leg, front take back. Left leg, front rise, left leg, front down. Right leg, front rise, right leg, front down. Rear leg rise, rear leg down. Nine-way valve action function using rock drill pushing, lifting. Feeder swing angle left, right. Feeder pitch down, lift. Drill boom down, lift. Drill boom left, right. Feeder compensates, extend, take back. Pitching cylinder, extend, take back. Drill boom, extend, take back. Feeder flipping, contra-rotate turning, clockwise turning. The third hole, video equipment operation. The first paragraph, check before starting. Use the light check button to verify all indicators light. Check that whether the voltage is normal. Check that whether all handles and buttons are reset. The second paragraph, air compressor operation check. Check that whether the air compressor loading and unloading is normal. Check that whether the lubrication system of the rock drill works normally. Check that whether the lubrication pressure is normal. The third paragraph, waterway system operation inspection. Check that whether the water system is leaks. Water pump exhaust air. Check water pressure. When the water pump is not started, check that the water gauge pressure does not exceed 0.3 MPa. Check that whether the pressure is normal after the water pump is started. Check that whether the reducing valve functions properly. The fourth paragraph working video. When drilling position of all buttons and ball valves. No alarm for lubricating oil level. No alarm for hydraulic oil level. No alarm for hydraulic oil temperature. No alarm for low air pressure. And normal operation of lubricating pump running indicator light. Drilling hole. Work completed in drainage. The fourth hole video maintenance. Note: check when there is no external 380V power supply. The first paragraph daily maintenance. Cleaning water pump. Clean water filter. Filling grease. Air tank drainage. Hydraulic tank drains water. Note: after the equipment stands for no operate more than 8 hours. Open the plug cover, open the ball valve, and release the water in the hydraulic tank until the water in the hydraulic tank is completely released and the oil can be seen. Note: there are 2 oil discharge ports in the hydraulic tank, and water should be released. Discharge water for screw air compressor. Open the plug, release the water in the screw air compressor until you can fully see the screw oil. The bolts and oil pipes of the whole rig are checked and fastened. The second paragraph regular maintenance. Electric control cabinet, cable reel box, motor terminal box line is loose or not. Engine. Refer to engine running time. Diesel engine oil filter and oil. Fuel oil filter. Fuel, water separator.
燃油精滤。空滤芯。
Air compressor. Refer to air compressor running time. Air compressor oil filter. Air compressor oil filter. Air compressor screw oil. Air filter element for air compressor. Hydraulic oil tank. Refer to rock drill running time. Hydraulic oil tank oil return filter and hydraulic oil. Hydraulic oil tank air filter. High-pressure fine filtration. Refer to rock drill running time. High-pressure filter element. Walking piston pump. Refer to engine running time. Walking piston pump fine filtration. Note that if the hydraulic oil emulsification must be replaced immediately, when replacing the hydraulic oil, it is necessary to replace the filter element, including the hydraulic tank filter element, high-pressure filter element, walking piston pump filter element, transmission gearbox gear oil, refer to engine running time, transmission gearbox gear oil, axle gear oil, axle bag for axle, electric motor, rock drill combined with the data of note time. The rock drill is filled with nitrogen. The fifth hole video, the equipment is parked for a long time. Preliminary preparation. After the drill rig is used, the drill rig should be washed and cleaned. Empty the waterway and blow the water path with compressed air. Blow some antifreeze, rust inhibitor, into the waterway. Empty the air storage. Drill rig storage location selection. The storage place should be dry, ventilated, smooth, convenient transportation, and a certain space for equipment maintenance. The ambient temperature should be higher than freezing point and should avoid direct sunlight and rain. Caution: if the temperature of the drill rig storage site is below freezing, the water route, all water passing parts, and exhaust gas purification tank must be protected or drained. Maintenance of drill rig before storage parts. Grease all the grease spots. The nitrogen in the accumulator of the rock drill should be drained, and a label should be set to remind the relevant personnel that the nitrogen in the accumulator has been drained and needs to be filled with nitrogen when it is used again. Grease the cylinder rod. Remove the front guide of the rock drill, grease the inside of the gearbox, smear EM10 or EM22 on the end face of the piston and the end face of the backstop sleeve, and after grease is smeared on the outside of the front guide. Fill the copper guide sleeve tightly with paper towels or other items to prevent a large amount of water vapor from entering, and set a label to remind the relevant personnel that the grease needs to be treated before use again. Replace all oils: engine oil, hydraulic oil, axle oil, and gearbox oil. It depends on the actual situation. Preparation of drill rig before storage, electrical part. Check the functions of electrical system. Repair or replace damaged electrical components. Check the use of wearing parts. Wipe the surface of the equipment with cotton cloth. Remove the water and stains on the surface of the equipment. Stubborn stains can use neutral detergent. Use dry compressed air less than 0.3 MPa to blow electrical equipment and components, and the nozzle of the blowgun is more than 10 centimeters away from the equipment components. Spray anti-sink and anti-corrosion agents on all electrical installations. Release all the cables in the cable drum, clean and check the cable surface, and withdraw the cable after completion. Pay attention to the cable arrangement without misalignment and distortion. After retracting the cable, wrap the cable connector in a plastic bag. Parking of the drill rig. Support the leg horizontally on the ground. The vehicle is parked horizontally to prevent long-term tilting deformation of the electric cabinet. Do a good job of moisture-proof and waterproof work. You can use plastic cloth, tarpaulin, etc. to cover electrical equipment. Close the ventilation holes, gaps, pipes, etc. of the electrical cabinet to prevent the invasion of rats, birds, insects, and other organisms. Remove the battery and store it correctly according to the requirements of the battery manufacturer. When removing the battery, be sure to turn off the main switch of the battery. First remove the negative electrode and then remove the positive electrode. Note: long storage time, greater than 15 days. Please check the battery regularly and charge it if necessary. If the site allows the feeder to be supported vertically on the ground, push the rock drill to the minimum level. The sixth hole video, the rig reactivation. Check whether the appearance of the equipment is damaged, whether there is rat infestation in the electric cabinet, whether the wires and cables are damaged, and whether the external equipment, lamps, sensors, and other components is damaged and flooded. Clean the equipment. Install the battery. Be sure to turn off the main switch of the battery. Install the positive electrode and then install the negative electrode. After power, warm the machine for more than half an hour. Check and then start the electrical equipment. Before starting the diesel engine, main motor, air compressor, water pump, pulse lubrication pump, and other mobile equipment, it can be started according to the requirements of the mechanical equipment. Check the functions of the electrical system and repair and eliminate any problems in time.